Right, everyone's dry, which is fantastic. Welcome everyone to the last auction of my day today. This is my 5th auction and it's my pleasure to be your auctioneer on behalf of the team at Barry Plant here in the city of Dandenong. So my name is Tim Stickley, I'm the director at Barry Plant and it's my pleasure to be the auctioneer. I'm ably assisted by Jackson, who's been looking after the campaign, handling lots of inquiries throughout the 4 weeks that it has been marketed for sale and helping you all out with your inquiries. So also here today to assist if you're needing any help or any questions. We have Ben Dang and we also have Michael Lim. So don't hesitate to call upon them as we continue through the auction. But on behalf of the team, we welcome you. We wish you all the very best with your endeavours. Good opportunity here in Springvale today, and clearly there can only be one successful purchaser. So I encourage you to bid with a bit of confidence, a bit of spirit, and hopefully shortly you'll be the happy new owner here at 1 Burrapike Avenue in Springvale. So prior to the bidding, there's some details I need to draw your attention to. I plan to go through the auction rules, go through the contracts which have been on display, make a couple of quick comments about the property, and then it's over to you for your competition and bidding. So first and foremost, the rules of auction. They outline that the auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The vendors have a reserve price. It's a very reasonable reserve price as well today. As the auctioneer, I will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids. It prohibits major disruptions by bidders, prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides fines for this conduct. The rules permit vendor bids, and the words during the auction they'll use to indicate I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are simply vendor bid. By law, only I as the auctioneer can make a vendor bid. So if you're new to the auction system, basically what that means, if anyone else is bidding, you're all here to buy. In the absence of anybody bidding, I'll state a price and vendor bid so you know where you need to be at or beyond if you're serious about purchasing here to do, and I'll do that as a way of a guide along the way. So if everyone bids, hopefully I don't need to exercise that on behalf of the owner. The other key rule of auction outlines that the auctioneer cannot accept bids or offers for the property after it's been knocked down to the successful bidder. So when I declare that property is sold, I can't take late bids. So please work with me closely at that important part of the auction. Right, we move on to the contracts that have been on display. They outline the vendor and the land under offer in Certificate of Title Volume 8543, Folio 722, otherwise known as 1 Burrapike Avenue in Springvale. It's being offered with things of a fixed and permanent nature as per your inspection here today. We're looking for a 10% deposit upon successful purchase with a balance in 30 or 60 days, whichever your preference may be. The vendor statement, it shows that the land allotment here today, and we have approximately 585 metres square of land. We're in a general residential zone. There is an easement which does run along the rear boundary for sewerage purposes, and the outgoings, which include City of Dandenong and the Southeast Water, total to $2,537.97 as per the certificates. Services all are connected at the property here today with the exception of the telephone. So are there any questions at all on the contracts before I continue? Nope, it's all pretty straightforward. So the final rules of auction outline that subject to the reserve price, the highest bidder shall be the purchaser. And if we pass the property, and this is a very important thing to note also, and that is that if the property is passed in below the vendor's reserve price, the vendor will first negotiate with the highest bidder for the purchase of the property. So it's very important to be that person holding the highest bid, whether we're selling under the hammer or whether we're passing in, so you have that exclusive right to negotiate and take that opportunity away from all other buyers at that point in time. So the property itself, well, it's really well located here. I've sold a few properties today. Central Dandenong, Central Noble Park had an auction, and once again a really good position. This home, it's in a residential 1 zone. We're so close to Sandown Station. Go have a punt on the Greyhounds, it's just around the corner there. Get a good feed there also, and we're so close to Springvale Central, the famous Springvale market there, the railway station and the whole community hub. It's just a short walk away. The site here, it's a beautifully level rectangular site with the exception of a slight splay on the corner there. And the street, it's a nice quiet avenue. It's a cul-de-sac at the end of the street here. And as you can see across the road and around, there's been a real redevelopment which is going on right throughout this corridor with new homes. So the opportunity does exist for those of you that may be looking for a site that in years to come you could build your dream home. this may be your dream home, and for very good reason. It's a beautiful home. It's well presented. It's a good, honest family home. And interestingly, the family have enjoyed this place for 60 years. So it's the first time it's been offered in all of that time. They've loved it. The family's grown up here and enjoyed all of the benefits of living in this location. So they're ready to pass on that baton to you now. The home, you could either live in it comfortably, you can rent it out. It's got a great future. It's land that appreciates over time, and it's becoming a short supply. So opportunity is yours today. We're here to sell. Get yourself a Christmas present, the ultimate house in your hands. Get me started. Who'd like to get me underway? It's not where we start, but where we finish that matters. Looking for an opening bid here at Burrapike Avenue, Springvale. 726. Let's go with the 726. Thank you very much. All the very best here today at $726,000. That's a bit of a random number, isn't it? Would someone like to round me up maybe to 750 at this point in time? At 726 the bid, or you can give me 850 the bid now at 750,000. What about a rise of 25,000? Happy to go in 25s at $750,000. Holding the bid at the moment at 750. Look for a rise of 25 anywhere. Lucky number, call it out. 766 I'll take. At 766, does someone want to go 788? At 766 it is, or maybe 800. 788 the bid at 788,000. What about 800? At $788,000. 800 the bid now. At 800 I'll go in 10s from there. At $800,000, 10 if you like, get you back on top. 810 the bid. 2 in it at the moment at 810,000. Straight back to my starter. At $810,000. 20 can I say? At $810,000 once. At $810,000 twice. 50. 850 strong. Is that right? 850. That's a big bid. That's the way to buy real estate. 60 with a nod. At $860,000. What about 900 with a knockout blow? At $860,000 now. At $860 the bid. At $860 it's here. It's against you there. 2 in it at the moment. 876 the bid. At $876,000. Be the first to 900. What would you like to do there? 890. 890 the bid now. At $890,000, round me to 900 if you like, or pick that lucky number. At $890,000. 896. 896 it is. 896,000. What about 900? I'll take 4. At 900 I am now. At $900,000 the bid. $900,000. I've got that a minute ago. At $900,000 we have. At 900,000, 10. Nominate that price. Give me your number. At $900,000 for the first call. At $900,000 for the second call. 926. 926 we're selling. We're on the market, ladies and gentlemen, at $926,000. At 926, 950 if you like. 950 with the hand up there. At 950 the bid. At $950,000. Let's go to the million. At $950,000. Great location. Good buying. At 950 the bid. The once at $950,000. Twice at $950,000. Nominate your rise. We are selling. There's no better bid. Make no mistake, the property will be sold at $950,000 with here. It's here at $950. It's here at $955 now. Fresh buyer, $955. Don't let them have it with one bid. What do we go? $960 now. At $960,000. Another 5 if you like, Ben. At $960,000, it's like a good greyhound race, isn't it? At $960, who's going to be first past the post? At $960,000 once. At $960,000 twice. At 65 now. 965. At 965. 70 with the nod. At $970,000 now. Hitting that finish line at $970,000. Where to, Ben? Need to know. At $970 we're selling. No better bid. First call. The second call. Third and final call at $970,000. We're selling. And another 5. 975 now. At 975. 975 the bid. At 975. Round me to a million, hey. What would you like to do? At 975.
985.
985 strong. 985 strong. Come back with a knockout blow there, Ben. At 985 it is now. At $985,000. Another 5 to get you back on top. At 985 the bid. First, second, at 985. Third, final call, 985. In or out, permission to sell. At 985. Moment for consideration there. 985 the bid. Back with the 86. 985. What's it going to be, Ben? 985. Thank you for your patience. At $985,000. 990,000. What about $1 million? Round me up. $990,000. Holding the bid. Where to from there? At 990 for the first call. At $990,000 for the second call.
995.
995. At 995 the bid. Nominate your eyes from here. Happy to take thousands. Your call. 995. At 995. Another 1,000 to get you back on top. At $995,000. Pointy end of the auction. Make no mistake. Gavel hits the contract. The property sold at 995. First call. Second call. Third and final call at 995. We're selling at 995. Sounds like Sandown out there, doesn't it? Or is that just someone on Princess Highway? 995. How are we going there, Ben? Need to know. It's like we're at the golf. Everyone's so quiet. I wonder how the golf's going. I've lost track today. At 995. Okay, I need to know. Yeah, permission to sell, otherwise. Thanks very much for attending. 995. 6. 996. Just take us to the mill. 7. We're going in ones. 997. At 997. Another one. $997,000. First call. Done there, Ben? We're done. Permission to sell? Thank you so much for your bidding. At $997,000. In the absence of any further bids, we're going to be selling. Great bidding. Thanks for coming with me all the way. I can't tempt you with the 500, Ben, just before I wrap it up. At 997,000, take 500 if that'll help. At 997, I'm going to declare it sold now. This is the last opportunity for the first call at $997,000. The second call at $997,000. Time to pop the champagne. Third and final call, $997,000. The property's going. It's going. Merry Christmas. It is sold. Well done. Yay. Congratulations. Commiserations to the underbidders. Have a great Christmas. Thank you.